Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. Okay. New readings for Scorpio are Wednesdays and Sundays. This is a bonus reading. If there's anything you need me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Okay. This is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards. Use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And the Three of Swords, interesting. I feel like there's a lot of heaviness on your mind right now. I feel like you're someone who's generally very optimistic, very forward-thinking. I feel like you very much can see the future, and you're happy about it. You're positive. You can't wait, to experience it. Very cheerful. But I feel like lately, and maybe this is because of the holidays coming up, but I feel there's this kind of melancholy, like almost a black cloud that's with you right now. Okay? And this could really be the memory of something, maybe something from your past, happened around the end of the year at some point, and this is kind of, like an anniversary of that event. But I feel as if it's kind of hard for us to get out of the reliving of some experience right now. As much as we might be trying to think of all the positive things that are coming up, the family gatherings, the holiday festivities, the company parties, the friendship things, whatever. I feel like we're kind of always coming back to some particular issue, right? And we're having a difficult time not thinking about it. All right, so that's our first card. Now let's select our last card, and that is the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot that we are just going to set aside over here. We're going to put Mr. Ed, the little horse, right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need. Okay. If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is or you have a hunch, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. All right, let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. Anyway, so yeah, the Three of Swords here, this is our memory, and this is the way the memory can either work for us or against us. And I think that it's easy for us to get stuck in reliving things from the past, And as far as our body and our mind and our heart, our unconscious are concerned, it didn't happen in the past. We're reliving it. It's happening right now. We are remembering it. We are re-experiencing it, right? Experiencing it again. So it's kind of like we're injuring ourselves again, over and over again. So I don't know what that situation is. But now we've got that 6. We've got a 6 of Swords, so I feel like we're kind of getting to the bottom of it. I feel like what we need is something to kind of to take us away from this memory. Okay, and the 6 of Swords, I like the Rider-Waite-Smith 6 of Swords more than the Thoth 6 of Swords, because in Rider-Waite it shows 3 people actually on a boat, a bunch of swords on the boat, but the boat's just sailing on a river or through the ocean. It's on this kind of gondola thing, and to me that really represents that, hey, we're getting over our issue, right? These swords that we're holding on to. We're moving forward. We're not getting rid of the swords, Maybe I should try to find that card in the Rider-Waite-Smith. I'll do that quickly here. We're not trying to get rid of our swords energy. We're still taking all of these memories with us, but we're not letting it weigh the boat down, right? We're not letting them. Here it is here. There's that 6 of Swords. See, we're we take all of our issues with us. And so to me, that's really talking about this idea that any kind of trauma, our past, our history, all of our bad memories, right? We never really get free from them. We don't somehow deal with them and leave them behind. They're always going to be in the boat with us. But the idea is to not let them sink the boat. They're not stabbing us so deeply now that our boat's filling with water, right? So I think this is a very important aspect of the Six of Swords. It can get overlooked in the Thoth Six because the Rider-Waite, Pamela Coleman Smith did a great job with the illustrations on this tarot pack. We're taking all of our negative experiences with us. They're not holding us back. And we're going to do some more cards here. And see, this is part of that because now we're reflecting back into the past. This is the Queen of Pentacles. And this figure, this energy, is looking back, right? Looking at that long and winding road. Looking at everything that we've ever been through, every choice we've ever made. Yeah. And I feel like this is kind of what's going on. Maybe that's kind of just what you do toward the end of the year. We start thinking about all the mistakes we made this year, right? I mean, I could fill a book with all my mistakes from the last 12 months. And that's fine, right? That's good. But this card then needs to shift positions and look forward, look toward the next year, right? And maybe this is that pivotal moment for you where you're kind of taking all this stuff from last year, right? And instead of holding on to it, instead of just kind of reliving it and just re-injuring, re-traumatizing ourselves based on all this, not even our mistakes, just bad stuff, right? From other people, choices we've made, choices other people have made, just blameless kind of happenings of the world. We could either be stuck reliving all of that, or we could take all that stuff with us, put it on the boat, and let's start sailing to the future. Let's start thinking about next year. What can we learn from this experience? From this last year of stuff, what are the lessons that you've learned? Yeah. But that's the real reason for recapitulation, for retrospection, is to try to distill the wisdom out of all of the experience of the last year, of our whole life, really. But, what mistakes did you make? What things did you do wrong? What things did you do right? How could you have done things differently? I mean, whatever it is, whatever questions you have, whatever way you go about analyzing or reflecting on this past year, we have to distill that down into some practical knowledge, wisdom, really, right? A functional knowledge. And that's the difficult thing for the Queen of Pentacles, because the Queen will sit there and stare at that past, stare at that long and winding road for centuries. We need some energy that then can turn her around, not gender specific, but turn the energy around and project it into the future and say, okay, I've learned a lot from this past year, and I'm ready to go for this next year. I'd like to see some fire energy here somewhere. Well, not too bad. We've got the Star here. You may have recently lost someone that was close to you. I kind of feel that there is an older, kind of this wiser, almost like a sagely kind of figure that was in your life. And they may have transcended this past year. You may have lost somebody that was almost like a mentor or a guide to you. I don't know if they had some sort of disease of the internal organs or something like that, but I feel as if they are still very close to you. They're with you right now. And I don't know if they were more of the medium or if you're more of like the medium or the channeler of the family, But I feel like there's a very thin veil between you and the spirit world, or between them and you, really. And I feel that you probably even, it sounds silly, but you probably even have like little reminders of them where maybe you'll it seems like you hear their voice or something, or like you smell maybe their perfume or cologne or some incense that they used to burn or something like that. I wonder if maybe they did have a particular fragrance that really reminds you of them. And this could be part of what this sword's energy is that we're kind of holding on to. Yeah. And part of the reason why the Queen of Pentacles might not want to shift into the future is because then it feels like we have to kind of say goodbye to the past, right? But I think if this is a person who was close to you, as it feels to me like it is, they don't want you to linger here. They want you to shift your energy into the future, knowing that they will still be with you. Because again, you're taking the swords with you in the boat. You know, you're not leaving anything behind. So you still have all of these connections and feelings and memories. But it is kind of a signal that this Queen of Pentacles has to shift. Let's do the top card here. And see, now that's even more a strong connection for me that this person really was like I feel like they were a strong influence on your life. And so it could be mom, grandma, great-grandma. But I feel almost that they were a teacher or a mentor to you in some way. Okay? And I think with the Hierophant here, it's an indication that, look, this is an infinite moment right now. The here and now is that infinite little place, I guess, that eternal place between the past and the future. You know, it is the turning point. And it's there, and you're there. But there needs to be some effort. There needs to be something to get us out of this, because this is fixed earth energy too, and this is rather fixed too. So to me, there's just this, there's like two anchors kind of on either side of you, and it's just, there's not a lot of movement. We're going to keep going here. Now we got more earth energy. But maybe now we've got something in the future. Maybe this little boat is going toward this island, right? Maybe we can see not so far into the distant future. Maybe we can't see the entire year, but we know kind of what the first couple of months are going to be for us, right? And maybe if this was a loss, and you have my sincere condolences, okay? Maybe this Ace of Pentacles is just kind of like, what are the first few things that need to happen? You know, you don't have to figure the whole plan out like a year from now, but what do you need to do today and tomorrow, right? What should next week look like? What's our first goal? What's our first kind of top priority right now? What do we got to do? Yeah. And I think with the Hierophant too, this is kind of like this. I get the feeling like, again, this person doesn't want you to linger here. They don't want you to feel anchored here. Yeah, and I'm almost getting this feeling like they're kind of telling you like you should know better. You know, you should know better than that. You know, because they don't want that for you. They want you to keep sailing. You know what I mean? We're going to switch over to the path of the Serpent now, and as I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, doesn't cost you anything. And leave a comment for me. I'm interested in a shout out from wherever you're watching from. Our community is worldwide here, and it's really fascinating to me to see that. And also Scorpio readings, usually Wednesday and Sunday. All right, so come on back. Now let's take a look at our general energies here. We got a 10 of Cups. See, there really is, there's a lot of emotion here. And now I think it's coming together a little bit more. And this is a flood. This is a lot of emotions, right? This is this is almost an overwhelming kind of where we just want to break down and cry, right? And I think that it's important that you do that. It's necessary for you to let these let these feelings go, because I think when we started it, we just had this kind of reliving this experience again and again and again. And maybe there's a reason why this experience is kind of remaining in your consciousness, maybe because you haven't really allowed yourself to feel all of the feelings associated with it, right? And I think the real wisdom that this person, I feel like this is, again, kind of an older family member, kind of, an ancestor, a grandma, grandpa, a great-grandparent, something. I feel like they had and still have a lot of wisdom. And I feel like they really want you to know that not everything is your problem to fix. That if there's nothing that you could have done, there's no mistake that you made, right? There are things, 99% of things in the world are out of our control. Out of our control. But what we can control is what the Queen of Pentacles is doing. Staying in the past, or are we shifting toward the future, right? So I think what we need is a lot of emotional release right now. We got to just flush it all out of your system. Yeah. And maybe this is a difficult reading, but maybe there's never really been a complete grieving process. Or maybe you've never really allowed just these emotions to come out kind of unchecked. Yeah. Let's see. What else? See now, yeah, look at that. Now we've got this Eon or Judgment card. This is a rebirth. This is kind of, we kind of have this immersion in all this water, and what it does, it's a baptism by fire, right? It's just kind of like you cry as much as you can cry until you can't cry anymore. The tears dry up and you're ready. And you emerge with more vibrance, more power, more gusto, right? More of this robustness, ready to take on the future. Yeah. And still with this other major arcana energy, with this star, I feel like this star is still with you. I feel like this is one of your guides. And so it's not a severing of the past. We're not losing that relationship. We're bringing it with us. The sword, remember, the swords are coming with us in the boat, right? So this is a chance for a big breakthrough for you. A really big breakthrough. And now we've got that Magician energy. And now the message seems to be that, hey, if you focus your efforts, you focus your mind and your powers and your talents and your skills, you can create any kind of life that you want. That there is nothing outside the bounds of possibility for you. As if you can imagine it, you can create it, right? And this again is kind of reinforcing this idea that there's someone has this kind of mediumship, or some maybe it's you, and maybe it's both of you, have this really fine-tuned psychic ability, right? And it really could be an issue here too that because this water energy has been, I think, rather contained as of late, that there's been not so clear a channel between you and this person on the spiritual planes, in that psychic connection, right? And maybe that's why we've been kind of dwelling in this past a little bit, we don't want to lose that connection, right? Because we feel that it's not quite as strong as it was. Or for as psychic as the two of you may be, it seems as if that power just doesn't apply to each other, right? But I think it's because all of this emotion was locked up. And I think through the release of this, that you will find there to be an even clearer channel of communication with this person, with this guide, with this ancestor, this spirit, this entity. If it is a relative that is passed, or whatever that energy represents to you. Okay. I think it's going to really improve the receptivity or the flow of communication with it. With that person, that entity, that spirit, that guide. Okay. Let's do one more card here. The 10 of Wands. See, now we've got the 10 of Cups, 10 of Wands. By releasing all of this emotion, by letting the flood of emotion out, cry until you can't cry anymore. That's going to allow you to tap into this creative resource, this spiritual, psychic, vital resource of spiritual energy. And you're going to allow, this process, the Ten of Cups process, is going to allow you to maximize your spiritual power, your creativity. So this is really, I think, the process by which you unlock your maximum potential here. Maximum potential. This is volume all the way up to, not 10, 11, right? If there was 11, 12, 13 of wands, this would be it. Completely maxed out with your psychic powers, your creative powers, your spiritual energy, your vitality. It really is a kind of a rebirth that's kind of taking place here. And I think it is through the dealing in the appropriate way with whatever this past situation was. For some of you, it will be this relative, family member, this person who's very close to you that has transcended. But I feel like this is kind of a cathartic process that's going to really unleash your potential in a really amazing way. I really, really do. I think we should look at the mystery card now and see what this might confirm for us. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ed, for your service. Well, maybe we can see something developing off of this Ace of Pentacles, because I feel like this is kind of the next step. What is the next step in your life in a very practical way? You know, if this is saying, well, I'm gonna get out of bed tomorrow. Or, you know, I'm gonna go back to work on Monday, whatever it is. First things first, you know, what's our top priority? Maybe we'll see the unfoldment of this. Maybe this can become something, small. Maybe we'll get a 10 of Pentacles and we can finish up the 10s, at least in that sequence. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. I'm going to say 10 of Pentacles. It's a 9 of Swords. Yeah, 9 of Swords. I kind of fear that I may be offending more people than I'm helping with this reading. But I think sometimes we need a jolt. Sometimes we need a wake-up call, you know. And, you know, the Judgment card, this is usually the angel of the final judgment blowing the trumpet right in your face saying, wake up, you know. But I think that this is that moment, the 9 of Swords, especially with the vignette that's illustrated here. It's this is that moment when you wake up in the middle of the night randomly and you can finally cry. You know, you see that trope in movies, right, where someone's just kind of driving or something, and finally they're able to grieve, and they just break down right then and there in the middle of, you know, Fifth Avenue or whatever. And it's kind of like that. You know, this is kind of like we can't force it. It has to come on kind of on its own. But we have to at least clear the way. We have to be ready for it. We have to be accepting of that. And, you know, I do want to point out as well that I was talking about this Queen of Pentacles and how we needed some fire, right, to get her kind of turned to the future. Well, I'm happy that we got that fire now, because to me this is now the enthusiasm and the creativity and the gusto and the vitality to tackle the future, right? And sometimes we've got to go through this painful awakening, which is really what here, we're waking up, you know, waking up in despair. We've got our head in our hands. And we've got to let this water flow, knowing that it's a doorway. This whole process is a doorway to the rest of your life, to your maximum potential. Yeah. And again, I don't know what this is exactly. It may not be a relative that passed, but it's some sort of incident, some sort of something that you're holding on to. Okay. And for me, it really stood out as being this kind of older, maternal kind of energy. All right. Now, we're going to do an extended reading, too. If you want to stick around, you can click on the link either above or below in the video description. New Scorpio readings again Wednesdays and Sundays, but I'm here every day, so just come back and see me again tomorrow. Okay. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free, doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.